Thank you for joining Bout Better for possible plays on this weekend's difficult card. Similar to weeks ago, where it's going to be a fantastic main event, but I would tread cautiously and be miserly, as next week I think we have far better bouts, far better opportunities for everyone to benefit, profit, and enjoy themselves. So I'm looking forward more to next week. But that being said, when we're about bets, we look forward towards all fights. I always say that I'm going to pass these things. I initially was looking at this fight and thinking that Giles was going to be my best underdog for this whole card, and then I saw something else. I'm really skeptical of Giles just generally having any real finishing ability. And Dolize is coming in on short notice and is dropping a weight class. So this fight might not even happen. So this whole little bit here might not be worth it to look at. But if in any case, I'm really was initially with Giles really because I was thinking of if he could generate an offense, which I don't think he can at this point. Because he does have more movement and speed than Dolize, but Dolize has better grappling. And let's see, maybe Dolize does have better hand skills, and we see a quick finish on his part, because I'm just so skeptical of Giles at this point that I'm not really favoring him to any extent. But here we go. We have Chaisson and Renau. And I think this is going to be a possible fight of the night. I don't know why I think that. Maybe just because I overanalyzed everything that was part of this bout. Looking at these women, we're very familiar with them, and we're very familiar with fighters. We feel we always got some kind of added line or insight to what they're doing, and in reality, we don't. We're looking at some of the numbers. We're looking at what we've seen in the past, whether it's tape or anything else. But we do know that these women are both fantastic athletes. They would probably have never been picked last in anything. Chaisson is big, long, and lean. She's a brawler. She goes out there. She uses a lot of power right away. She kills it. First round, she is relentless. Renau is a little more refined. She really picks her spots, picks her moments. She has a really good fight IQ, whereas Chaisson, I really would hope that some fight IQ has been developed over these years, having the advantages of being a UFC Ultimate Fighter champion, I believe, should have given her opportunities to develop her skills. So she is the favorite here, and we look at the finish prop for both of these is it's plus 375 and plus 390 for Chaisson, and the decision prop, which is crazy, Renau plus 465 by decision. I'm really, really surprised by that. Looking at this, Vegas is leaning a decision, but why is Renau plus 465 to achieve that goal? I think this is a meaty fight. There's definitely opportunities all over this place, especially with the round props. I don't think they account for Renau getting a decision. I don't think they even think that she has a chance for a finish looking at this. I mean, look at the props. Both fighters by finish are great picks. I couldn't couldn't blame anybody for taking either of those positions, I think it'll pay out. If Renau survives round uno, she is going to be a desirable live bet. I'll be keeping an eye on that. If I were you, on your phone or at the casino, I think Renau is going to do a lot better than people believe. Chaisson, I think, is a little overpriced here, but I'm definitely going to chase Chaisson to win in round one at plus 725. Way too good of an opportunity to take, because I actually love Chaisson in round one. And everything else, I really probably enjoy. Renau, she's come out. She's been tough lately. Man, her by submission plus 540. And then either woman by finish. I'm thinking, I might lean towards what's wrong with the Renau side? What's the problem? I think that there's a crazy disparity between the decision and finish props. It's alarming. You could chase Renau by decision. I don't think there's any reason why Renau can win the decision, whereas Macy has a better chance of doing it, despite what the odds say, or something I was reading maybe out of the Better Bets site that I was looking at, because my bookie has yet to set their odds completely. So Next bout that I'm looking at is Leonardo Santos versus Grant Dawson. Wow, Grant Dawson. There's going to be a little bit of recency bias, as in we've seen a lot of Grant Dawson. He's been around a bit. Leonardo Santos is a fantastic striker. He does not fight as commonly or as often as other fighters, but he is a big, powerful guy. He's got long reach. So how's both of these guys' cardio going to be beside their reach, beside their physical attributes? Who's going to be favored in this in terms of their cardio, in terms of their grappling, in terms of their striking? It's a 50-50 match. I think Grant Dawson here is a little overfavored. I think this is going to be a little closer than people believe. And again, look at the decision prop. It's plus 493, which is ridiculous on the Leonardo Santos side. I think that's because Dawson's fighting a grappler who prefers to strike. What level of wrestling and counter wrestling are we to see from either of these guys? It could just be a stand-up affair, which in case Dawson does have an advantage on his feet, distance and control for both of these guys means a decision and victory. And I think Leonardo might have that edge against Dawson, despite Dawson having a little more experience on the money line side. It's all Leonardo Desantos by finish or nothing. Santos by submission is plus 540. If you look at Santos by TKO, it's plus 610, which is ridiculous because that's what more likely he is going to be doing. And then Dawson by TKO is plus 670. So I would say pick either fighter by finish. But I lean a little bit towards Grant Dawson on the decision side. So next bout we have Adrian Yanez versus Gustavo Lopez. Man, this is going to be fireworks here. These guys both are physical attributes are just outstanding. Just super speed with power striking, power. Man, this is going to be a fantastic bout. It definitely can be fight of the night for both of these guys. Adrian Yanez, as we've seen in the Dana White Contender Series, is just speed with technique. Very, very quick, long legs, very smooth, great transitions on the feet, great takedown defense. Whereas Gustavo Lopez, we know, man, very, very tough. All those Lopez's are very, very tough people. He has speed with power. I think he could finish it in just one touch, similar to the Martinez fight that we saw last week. Yanez has got to protect that chin because Lopez will hit him. The odds and the way the spreads on these lines are just ridiculous because both these guys are explosive. Who could win the grappling here, really, in terms of can Adrian Yanez keep people off of him? Vegas signals Yanez finish in any event of this. I think I agree, and I would lean on that side. Despite what, it's just plus 100 for Yanez by finish. Could be a trap, but I'm sort of leaning towards that. And I also am thinking of using Yanez in a parlay. Next on tap, it's Gregor Gillespi versus Brad Ridell. Man, this is going to be fireworks. I don't think it's going to be something smooth or quick. This is going to be brutal. And most people are leaning on the Gregor Gillespi side really, really, really hard. And that's because he just has fantastic wrestling, whereas Brad Ridell has just immense power and heart and just physical attributes that are just fantastic. I really like Brad Ridell. This is a huge step up for him, and it's just regrettably he has to face someone like Gregor Gillespi, and Gillespi is really balling up and taking on a young newcomer like Brad Ridell, because Brad Ridell is no joke. Gregor Gillespi has just great fight awareness, his strength of competition, despite losing in his last bout. The guy is just wrestle relentless, whereas Brad Ridell just doesn't have any counter wrestling. So this is going to be a big problem for him because both are finishers. Gregor Gillespie is going to be looking for a finish. He doesn't want to go the distance. Ridell really doesn't want to go the distance. This is not going the distance. Ridell's best chance to win really is a knockout. I think it's there. It's probably unlikely in that Gregor Gillespi can still stand on the feet. He's not going to be timid. I think he's going to come out a little aggressive. He's a lot better wrestler than Ridell has seen. and offensive wrestling that's going to lead into some striking and Gillespi really controlling. But despite that aggression, I think there is going to be some ring rust there, and I'm actually leaning more towards Gillespi. This not going to a finish. It's actually not going to be Gregor by sub, even though everyone's considering Gregor Gillespi by sub at plus 250, which is a great bet. I'm actually thinking Gregor Gillespi that it goes to a decision, and we see the judges, because Brad Ridell is just a monster. Give the guy some credit. Don't undersell someone who's so good, so strong, has that talent, and possibly can really set back Gregor Gillespi, but I doubt it. I think it's Gillespie's fight to lose here. And then on the final, Derek Brunson, Kevin Holland. Goodness. Regardless of how I feel personally about these guys, have been thoroughly entertained by both of these fighters. Derek Brunson has definitely made some fantastic fights for me. The last time he was out, he just killed a newcomer, killed a prospect in Shabazian. Kevin Holland's just been wiping up some cans and turds, some old men, but he's doing what he needs to do. He is still a legit threat, and that's why we see number 7 and number 10 facing off. Brunson, the typical gatekeeper. You beat Brunson, you might get into a championship, and I could see Kevin Holland jumping the line for a championship with a dramatic win here, because of course Vegas thinks that's the story everybody wants to present. It's the going narrative within the UFC as well as in media, but Derek Brunson has a lot more experience than Kevin Holland. I'm really suspicious of what the line's being set here. I think it could be flipped, or it should be a lot closer. I'm leaning towards Derek Brunson, but it's going to be fast and furious. Rounds 1 and 2 are going to tell us a lot about each of these fighters and how it's going to go, because I don't think it's going to go past 3 rounds. Neither has gone 5 rounds. I don't think either can go 5 rounds. As we watch them, even in their 3-round bouts, they each fade, but they have such great abilities, both on the ground and not on the ground. You see here why I put the prop for the submission prop there. Do you think one of these guys has the ability to get submission? It actually swung so much. I think people were jumping on it or something like that. So I'm going to avoid the submission prop. You look at the decision prop, it's a little lopsided. They believe that Brunson has less of an ability to finish than Holland, which I just am completely wrong. I'm not wrong. I think Vegas is completely wrong. Brunson has tons of value in this fight all over the place. There is plenty of spots where he can win, and he can actually benefit you strongly by looking at all the possible variables of him winning. I'm not always big for prop betting, but for this Brunson bout, as well as the Chaisson Marion Renau bout, I'm definitely going to be looking at where my possible angles can be to generate the most profit for myself. Because I'm going to take Brunson on the money line, for example, with this, and I probably will sprinkle the finish, and then look for him in a different round, or as well as sprinkle the under 2.5 line prop. Should I sprinkle the distance prop? It's a 50-50 call. I think that this fight can definitely go the distance. It could be turned into a wrestling affair where each of these guys is struggling at the end, and then one of them finds their method of finish. Lastly, I have some parlays on tap. 3 guys: Adrian Yanez, Gregor Gillespi, Grant Dawson. I'm not fully sold on all of these. It's my favorite parlay. It comes out at plus 204. If you decide to put them in a Trixie, $100 pays $234. For my 2-pick dog parlay, I'm going to pair Marion Renau with Derek Brunson. I initially had Trevin Giles in position of Marion Renau, but then I switched over. I just think Marion Renau has some better chances or paths of victory. I don't trust Giles as much, and I like the way that Renau, for my money, I like the way that she has been performing the past few weeks, even as a loser. So I'm hoping that she redeems herself and comes through just like Brunson does, and I'll pick that 2-pick dog parlay. I might throw something at the 5-pick Hail Mary, and even possibly the $260 Canadian, which pays $1,594.69. Not the worst bet of these 5 fighters, considering you're with 2 dogs and 3 favorites. It's not super chalk. It's not super risky. I think I have a good play here in a good spot. We'll see if I come through. So thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate it if you've managed to stay through all of this. Please like and subscribe. I'd like to try the different little formats sometimes, try to get this live. This is actually very challenging to do, even recorded. So I really appreciate anyone that actually listens to this stuff, anybody that comes back, anybody that likes and subscribes. Thank you very much.